It's what, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's what these things, market smith people call it follow through day. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. All right, guys. So let's begin. Thanks, Varun. We can chat about this later. So what I'm going to do today is we are not going to meet tomorrow. So I guess today we are going to have a little longer chat, and I have in mind a couple of things I want to discuss, which is so in my reading of the breadth, we turn bullish today. Uh, uh, in the sense we saw bullishness on the charts, okay, and that was also confirmed by a lot of breadth indicators. And today I'm going to show exactly what time I thought the bullishness came in and was a little crystal clear, and what were the price action and stuff like that. So that is what I'm going to discuss. Then the next question is, are we fully out of the woods yet? Like I said, right now, no, because we still have to break out from the tight area, which so basically the tight area is this, right? So this is the tight area, and so we need to at least break out of this. I follow the Nifty 500 more, and so the tight area is basically this one. We have to break out of this level. So that means that then, okay, then you can expect a bounce, uh, bounce upwards. Now that would that bounce take us to newer highs is again another question, right? So we are not out of that yet, but what I expect from the reading is that we everything is looks poised for an up move in the short term. I will also talk about a relative strength scanner from Tijori Finance, which someone shared in the other group, and I really like it. Partly because Tijori Finance is a fundamental oriented a space or whatever website or whatever they are, like a more a fundamental, and their classification of stuff is much more believable or much rigorous, and that's why I find that scanner uh, really nice, and so I'm gonna share that with you. And it's one of the, it's really helpful is what I am finding it. And I've just been looking at it for just last 2 days. Anyways, I wanted to share it with you, and a lot of HDFC Bank and some private bank enthusiasts. So I would. This was a clickbait today for people who are interested in HDFC Bank but wouldn't come to the group chat. So I will also discuss HDFC Bank entry points technically. If it has to go up, then those are the places where, and I will also then at last, discuss about systems, and this system is regarding scanning, okay, like full system, like any whatever scanning you do on equities has to go through one of these system, okay. So it will be a really nice this one. And at last, the peak watch list, and again I will tell you how, like from the scanning system, from this, which one watch list is what I am sharing, okay. So that is the gist of what we are going to do today. All right, so bullish signal sort of came in the morning, and what I did was, so the bullish signal was basically this gap up, right? So early morning it gapped up, and you know what? It gapped up, and it sort of did not moved down. So this is like a 5 minutes chart. You can even go to a 3 minutes chart, and what happens generally is this is called ORB, open range breakout or breakdown, right? So uh, if a stock is gapping up, that already tells you that a lot of bullish orders happened pre-market or after market, and that's why, like, we had a gap up. So that means that the sentiment was bullish the previous day. And so once you have this range, which is basically, let me play this out, and this is also a technical entry. A lot of people, especially the intraday guys, especially the intraday guys, ayo. So the moment it basically got above this point is people make a bullish entry, the long entry, because the range which was set from the first 5-minute candle that broke out. Okay, and and it was like a serene bullishness, one-way bullishness throughout. And yes, there was some bearishness setting in, but again it was a retest of the gap upper boundary. So whenever a gap happens here, there are two boundaries. One is this is the lower gap boundary and upper gap boundary. I mean, around 50% of time, again depends on the market conditions. Sometimes the gaps are, the boundaries are tested. In more bullish conditions, gaps are not tested. The gap boundaries are not tested. Medium conditions, mostly they come and test. Semi-bullish condition, they test the upper boundary, and like okay, so condition, they also come back and test the lower boundary. So lower boundary gap test happen, I think, in ITC, for example, just to show you. So ITC had a hugely bullish day 2-3 days back on this day, and what happened was it sort of came back to test the lower boundary of the gap. Okay, so this was the lower boundary, and it came really close to that gap, which was 406 came to 408. This would be the gap upper boundary. So this happens. This is like a price action, a retest of sorts, right? So this morning, when this sort of a phenomena was happening, which was basically the open range breaking out on the upside, and we knew that bullishness was setting in, and this might be poised for some upside in the medium term. Now let's look at breadth. What happened, right? So at about 9:30, 9:40, the message I sent you guys on the group saying that hey, there is clean signs of bullishness. So what I did was, at that point of time, I took some screenshots just to see what I am seeing on the charts. That would be really helpful for you. So this is at 9:48, right after I sent you guys a message. This is what I was seeing, and this is what end of the day looks like. Okay, so what I'll show you first, end of the day scenes, and then I will show you what at 9:40, 9:45 what I was seeing. So if you see the percentage of stocks above 20, 50, 200, the 20 and 50, although it's below 50, but what we saw here is the 50 is made a similar low, which looks like a double bottom, and now is poised to go up. The 20-day, above 20-day, actually formed a higher low and sort of moved up. Okay, and you can also see above all key EMAs also had a higher low, and this means that today's yesterday's low, which happened, was bullish than 13th March ka low, right? So this is what that means, because the bullish the indicator, the breadth indicator, is showing higher value than on 13, right? Now what I saw in the morning was again similar. So this was in the morning, right? So I already saw this hook-like structure, this fish hook-like structure here, and in the net up down resolved. So net up down is basically this one. So when we opened today, so at the close, the net up down 4% up down number is 16, which means that 17% had a 4% or more a day, whereas only 1.3% of the whole NSE universe has a negative more than -4% of the day. So this means that it was an ultra bullish day. When we opened itself, I will have the when we opened, it was about 2 or 3 here. Okay, this was pre-open data. ये 9:45 का data है, 9:48 का. But when we opened, the printed number was about 2, and imagine from 9:15 to 9:45 this 2 became 10, which means that like the bullishness only increased, right? And that's what and then in the highly resolved data also, what we see is that we have a higher low. sorry, higher low. Again, that higher low is more evident here. So on 13th, 15th, March 15th, after the big bullish data जो low बनाया हम लोगों ने, that low was -8, and उसके बाद next low जो बनाया 20 तारीख को, then that was -5, and then we are now sort of making higher highs and higher lows, and today आज का जो low बना, that is again higher, right? So that means that the bullishness in the market from the primary data itself shows that the bullishness is increasing. मतलब buying हो रहा है. We are making higher lows in here. Okay, so that was what I saw in the morning from here, and the advanced decline line of 10 and 20 also. In the 75-minute resolve time frame also, I saw that the fish hook structures appeared here. Again, this doesn't mean that like next 5 days is going to be bullish, but what it means that if the next 5 days is going to be bullish, the start of the bullishness on the breadth chart would look like this. I think the distinction is very clear here. What technical analysis does is not predict, but to like confirm and then act from whatever sort of data we have in front of us. Okay, so again, this is another plot. Here you can see that again the same thing, 10, and another thing what you can see is that yesterday or like day before when the Japan data came, what I was worried was this curve which tried to again go up, will go up now, and the bearishness will increase. But what happened is there was like a fake shoulder, and then it again came back down. The high-low index in all time frames moved above zero. Here they are all pointing up above zero, and also they are making higher lows. Okay, so that was another data, and by the end of the day you can see that firmly by the end of the day का data इधर है. So by the end of the day, what happened is like these guys, the high-low in all time frames. I will quickly show the all time frames. So this is the high-low, 52-week high-low. It firmly now is above zero. Above zero मतलब तगड़ा है. Above zero मतलब there are more number of stocks making 52-week highs than they are making 52 weeks low, right? So that's a very good thing. Which was fiercely bearish, went to -72. And this number in the 50-day data is also like turned up, forming a higher low. It also turned up and crossed over zero in 10-day. In 20-day also, that's similar this one. So all of these data again suggested that we are like the reversal point is there, and now we are going to see bullishness. Now this is a different way of representing the bull snots, bear snots. The bull snots started pointing up, and this is volume data, but a 2-minute resolved. Okay, so what you generally see is in the morning itself, the volume, the bullish versus bearish volumes itself shows you that अच्छा next आज का day कैसा होने वाला है types, and so 9 a.m. this was the time when I told so this violet or blue color is the total volume, and this blue color green color, cyan color is the bullish volume. So whatever volumes came in early morning, all of them were bullish volumes, right? Most of it, like 99%. So that also again volume level data also बोल रहा है कि भाई आज bullishness आएगा. And the whole day, if you see, what happened was there was some streak of like red what is that, peaks, but mostly was dominated by the blue peaks, which is up by total. Okay, all right, so this was that. Then this is again the 9:45 data. What I am showing here is so the trend template. So this is another way of looking at breadth. This is Landry trend template, something I haven't discussed with you. This is a Minervini trend template. Now both of this sort of were at the bottom and like going chick sideways, just like how the indices are going. And I saw this fish hook kind of structure again with the higher low here on Minervini, and this again, like all of these are additive similar kind of data only. So here you see this was the Minervini thingy. It was somewhere here, but it again the breadth further improved, and more confirmation would be once we have like more than 50% of the whole market on a trend. So Minervini trend template shows like how many of them are trending bullish. So we are still below 50. ideal number is above 50, but we are like trying to move up, right? So that's what I saw early morning. This I've discussed again. High-low index. High-low index, similar. This data was there, but high-low index again. So there are different ways of representing the high-low data. But this high-low index, which was highly below zero, crossed like very swift move, like this one, just like here. You can see here, so something like that. That kind of a swift. This one, the action I saw in the morning, and it further improved and pierced above 20. All right, so these were the basic breadth data which led me to believe that hey, things are actually improving, and our indices are sort of not lying. Now, if you look at the indices from let's go to the 1 hour, this one. So what does it look like? This looks like now a very nice double bottom base, right? So this is double bottom ka bottom 1, this is double bottom ka bottom 2, and this is a double bottom which William O'Neill would really like, because he always likes the second bottom undercutting the first one, and because that results in some amount of shakeout, weak hands getting out, like people who've jumped in early and placed their stop losses right below the previous low would again be clipped, and then that would ensure some liquidity for the bounce. So that kind of space, that's why William O'Neill sort of like this double bottom. And again, so for even what's the word, like so we still don't have on a on a structural level, we still don't have an entry, right? The entry is basically on the breakout of the neckline. So neckline is this one, right? But today some amount of 5-10% of or some buying could have been made, anticipating the bullishness, looking at the present data, which was like today very bullish data, right? All right, so let's look at Nifty 50 index. Now Nifty 50, what happens was, see, the VWAP data is the VWAP is a really nice indicator, and this basically tells you it works very nicely, just like moving averages work as support and resistances. This guy also works as supports and resistances, and I've been using this more frequently, more and more in my trading now. And this was when you plot, when you put a VWAP on the sort of the highs of Nifty 50, right? So I'm pretty sure this is the high. So plotted on this day somewhere, right? So this line has been acting as a resistance here also, although it didn't touch. In here also, for some time it touched, and then but again came back. And today also, now if I show you on a 5 minutes candle, this guy worked so nicely as a resistance here. So this is a resistance second time. But again, this came back, retested the gap upper boundary, and then closed within the range of the day. So uber bullish would be when we cross this guy. This is the VWAP from the top. Okay, and similarly, how VWAPs from the top acts as resistance, VWAP from the bottoms also act as supports. Okay, so this guy will act as support, and again you see that on the sort of a gap boundary also this guy came and supported. And so as long as the Nifty 50 index is inside the range, we are fine. We just have to make sure that volumes and all stuff like that are looking great, and the moment this breaks out, that is your entry. Okay, so people who already entered, this would be your sort of a stop loss. Okay, now that is all about the index. If you look at the individual indices, you can very clearly see groups which are strong, groups which are not strong. Okay, but before I go to the index level data, I now want to quickly show you the relative strength which I was talking about, and this is I'll send you the this one, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, link मैं भेज दूंगा group पे, ठीक है? अभी तक भेजा नहीं है, but this is a very nice tool. You don't even have to sign up. I haven't signed up, and just using this, I think to see the 6 month, 1 year data and all, you have to either pay or sign up. I am not sure, but as a swing trader, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 month data is enough. But for a little long term people, positional people, long term people, you might want to see at least 6 month and 1 year data. Okay, and so this is very easy to use. What they have done is, you have headline and you have niche, you have capital weighted and you have equal weighted. I don't like the capital weighted one, I like equal weighted one, so I've put equal weighted. But you can already see Nifty 50, next 50, mid cap, small cap, micro cap. On a weekly scale, which ones, on a 1 month scale, which ones are the names, which index has done well? It is the Nifty next 50. And the most beaten down ones is basically micro, small, and then mid is like mid level beaten down. And in 3 month scale also, you can see that Nifty next 50 is the most outperforming index, right? And that you will also quite evidently see from these data. Next 50 kithe. So next 50, if you see the very like this is compared to Nifty 500, it's been outperforming since October 23. And right now you see, what is this? What does this blue color means? The blue color means that absolute outperformance. My index is bearish, but this guy is bullish, right? So that also then is very nicely represented by this. Okay, so this can be used as a substitute for your relative strength data on the charting, because there, why I like this more is because you see they have very nice classification of the Indian stocks, and these guys are Indian companies. I mean, Tijori is an Indian company, so their classification I really like. Okay, so now you see what is the highest outperforming क्या बोलते हैं उसको, group in the last 3 month, and very surprisingly, not very surprisingly, it's a solar panel manufacturers. In the last 1 week also, they've given like 15%. Can you imagine, like last 1 week में stock market क्या कर रहा था? And so last one month, what market has done is like it has corrected for like 4-5%, but this guy has only corrected for minus 1%. So now if you click here, then you will see these are the names. So now if you don't want to scan and stuff like that, you just know that these guys are very strong names, and if there is any entry open here, you enter there, right? So this is very easy. Okay, and then you can also see let's say in the last 1 week, which are the strong sectors: aviation, power, metal. ये पता नहीं upstream क्या है? What is this upstream? So this is again oil names, right? Surprisingly, packaging films. So I really like this, and I think I will give some more time and this one to this to just to see that if this increases or enhances my stock selection or not, right? So this is something I wanted to share with you. Now coming back to the indices, it's very simple. Most of the things except FMCG and a couple of them are trying to move up. And see, right now it's just price and relative strength data. Okay, what you have to see here is you see the relative strength data, it has to absolutely be above 0. Okay, if it is not above 0, just wait. Like it will come above 0, it will present you a very nice entry opportunity for you to make money, but just wait till it comes 0. Like I used to do this huge beginner mistake some years back now, that and somewhere inside I still do that mistake, in the sense that the stock which are ripping up, there is some place somewhere which holds me back. अरे इस पे नहीं जाना है, ये तो बहुत ऊपर चला गया, मतलब ये तो अब गिरेगा, right? So that bias still is there somewhere. I just wish someone had stopped me from going there and just say that bhai like the stronger stocks will go strong, and so that bias I still carry, and that's why certain names I am very scared to get in. Like for example, I know these guys are very like Hitachi. Like this is a stock which is marked red. I know this is a good stock, but there was something which is like not letting me enter. Or I always, like, there is still a part of me which wants somewhere here. So again, this is a bias I recognize in myself, and I am pretty sure that some of these biases are also plaguing a lot of you, and that is why I'm saying that wait for this to go up, please. Okay, because if you are a trader, then you have to be in names which are already strong, which have proven themselves, not someone which is languishing here. Okay, and the most beautiful example of what I'm trying to tell you guys is, where is it? Nifty FMCG index. Now this looks like, so until a couple of days it looked really nice. Oh, uptrend, came back, a pullback, and now like setting up. Bro, where is the relative strength? Just because something did not fall very highly when the whole market fell does not mean that that sector is strong. You have to know this, right? When the market again turns stronger, these guys will still lag, right? So see FMCG has been underperforming since the start of the bull run. So until and unless this guy, okay, I'm not saying that this guy will underperform like forever, but what I'm saying is that wait for this guy to at least do something like this, and then when this guy comes here, which is like, okay, yahan pe, then you get in, And so now I will show you some of the groups which are actually here, right? So let's move on to কোথায় গেল CNG capital goods. So here, so what happened? Capital good was a hugely outperforming sector. Like यहाँ से गदर outperformance, गदर like May 22 से लेके अभी तक, like but now see what's happening. It underperformed for a month or two here. The moment, this is the time when market started falling, this guy actually now started to outperform the general market and now is poised to go higher, looks like, right? So these are the names which you have to get in, which is like starting its outperformance now, right? And this happens in all time frames, my friend, all time frames. Like for example, I'll show you ITC. Now ITC looks like on a daily, it might go up, it might not. You see the VWAP from this level is highly sold. This one, it's acting as a resistance. But if you see on a monthly level, you will see a different picture here. Okay, what do you see on a monthly? What I see is ITC hugely outperformed here, came back, retesting, and now again poised to do something like this, right? हाँ, यहाँ तक नहीं जा सकता है. I'm not saying यहाँ तक जाएगा, but अगर 2-3 महीना भी, like if this guy turns up, you will make money here, right? So and you will see this phenomena, like, okay, on a weekly it's still this one, right? So if you are a long-term guy, then maybe it's a nice time to get in, right? So again, markets are fractal, markets are cyclical. These are the two things which you have to use it in your favor, right? So again, like we know the strong sectors. Strong sector इधर से, अयो, sorry guys. So most of the things are making this structure that ये आया, and then that tight consolidation we built last couple of days, उससे अभी बाहर निकलने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Just make sure that whatever names you are you are catching is actually on an upward trajectory, right? And the yeah, so see Nifty metal. Now Nifty metal is like doing this, right? So is this is this a sign of possible outperformance? Looks to me, right? Now metal is very difficult because it's macro events बहुत ज़्यादा वो करता है इस पे. Now infra, see infra is a very strong sector, very strong. Now like blue and sort of doing this, right? So this is a very very nice group, capital, but not FMCG, okay. Similarly, telecommunication, like possibly wait for this to turn up and like make higher lows and go up. Energy, see energy looks fantastic, like fan fucking tastic, right? So यहाँ से outperformance गया and then like came back, अभी zero पे आया and zero पे अभी blue हो गया. अभी zero पे blue हो गया मतलब पूरा जगत bearish है but अपन bullish, right? So and a similar story with again power. I think similar story also with oil and gas. All right, so these were basically looking at the index, which were the strong sectors. Now coming back to a very important thing which I wanted to discuss with you in detail, right? So the topic is about stock selection, right? There is only one thing that governs stock selection. You know what that is? There is only one thing which governs stock selection, and that is basically relative strength. So whatever you do, the stock which you selected to park your money in the hope that it is going to compound, that stock or that instrument should have an element of relative strength. Now that element of relative strength should come in from your personality, which is basically कितना risk ले सकते हो आप और कितना दिन तक आप hold कर सकते हो, right? So that basically makes every one of us unique. Just two things. One is your risk tolerance and one's your holding time frame or whatever you want to call it. Now, depending on that, you see the relative strength of that stock and you choose the stock, right? So when you say about when you talk about stock selection, then comes scanning, okay? So stock selection has two ways. One is to manually scan, and that is like 1,000 stocks per hour. That's my rate right now. I want to improve this rate. If you don't want to manually scan, then there are two things, okay? One thing is that you need a scanner. So let's say there are 2,000 stocks which you are manually scanning, but if you don't want to manually scan them, you need a scanner which will contain a couple of couple of like filters, and will scan out some percentage of that 2,000 stock. If you don't want to do that, and if you scan them, then you need to put to a watch list, right? So this is watch list way. The other way is like, I don't want to scan only. I don't want to make watch list only. You just scan. You just make me a scanner which will just give me an entry trigger, so that whenever a stock comes in that entry scanner, I can directly click buy on that this one, right? So that is if you are scanning for stocks, then there are two ways. One is to scan and add to a watch list. Then the other way is like scan for an entry trigger. Now we have example of this. Khela Hobe is a entry trigger scanner, which means that any name that comes into the Homma Khela Hobe scanner is buyable, right? उस पे आपको ज़्यादा मतलब कितना क्या हुआ वो सब देखना नहीं है. The fact that it's coming on that scanner means that it is a stock which is at at a low risk and also has decent relative strength. All right, decent. I'm not saying like it's the one of the strongest one. Um, so another one is probably is the triple B signal. So triple B signal is basically a signal which comes in before the breakout. And so for example, I'll show you Power India. So Power India ke niche yesterday, what happened? There was this 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 magenta colored ka dot, and this is the BBB, this one. Okay, so this is something which I worked on, saying that hey, if this brings, then you can already buy something in the base. This tells you that it's a very strong stock and the strength is coming inside. So here it came, it also came here. It doesn't work for all stocks and all this one, but mostly it works. So whenever this comes, then we can see the next few days is bullish. Okay. There are other examples also possibly. So here Ganesh Housing. So it basically gives you a very small stop loss and not like a bigger stop loss. Okay, so that is one example of scanning for an entry trigger. And any other entry trigger signal that you can develop or someone else has developed, like that is one system. I'm talking about whole system here, right? Now the second system is to think about, okay, I'm gonna scan it. And if you're gonna scan it, you can manually scan. If you don't wanna manually scan, then you use some scanners, right? Now, when you think about scanners, there are three different ways you can think about scanning, right? The first way is to think about scanning the setup. Now, good example of this is our high tide flag setup. I am very sorry I said my or said our. It's not our, it's everyone's setup, right? But high tide flag setup. So now everyone knows what a setup is. Setup is again having a set of rules, which when everything comes into place, then there's high chances that you can now make an entry there. So high tide flag is one such setup. People use so many different setups. So like tightness traders will probably search for 3 weeks tide. Some people search for NR5, NR7. Some people have a very simple setup, which is moving average 20 crosses moving average 50, right? Whatever floats their boat. But this is a way to think about your scanning any other signal, right? So what you do is you scan for the setup, and then whatever name it gives, and then you manually then scan, and then like click acha ye this top 10, top 5, whatever, right? Second way to think about scanning is to scan for relative strength. All right, so this is the one which I really like, especially in times like this, especially when the market correction happens, because at that time what happens is the strong stocks show themselves up, right? You don't have to very microscopically look for strong stocks, especially during correction. They show themselves very clearly. So for example, if you scan for top 50, top 100 performers in the last X days. Now, why have I written X days here? Because this is personal to you. Brother, if you are a day trader, what difference does it make if it is a top 50, 100 performer in last 50 days? It doesn't, right? But if you are a positional trader, top 50 day top 50 performer makes more sense to you, right? Now, if you're scanning top 50 performer in last 20 days, and if you are a long-term trader, that will not float your boat, right? So here are a couple of examples. ABC. The top 75 performer in the last 50 days. Now 75 can be modified to 50, to 100, depending upon the time you have to go through each list. Whenever I have time, मैं 100 भी देख लेता हूँ, कभी कोई टाइम नहीं होता तो 50 भी देख लेता हूँ. Whenever the market condition is not so great, 50 देख के भी कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, तो स्कैन ही मत करो. What Kulamagi does is he picks top 3% of 20-day performers, and they also has to come in top 3% of the 50-day performers, right? So someday I will show you how to do this. I have this in one of my this one. The third one is again very simple. The simple bond day scan, right? A couple of days ago I shared this with you. every day you have to go through the stocks which made 20% move in the last 5 days, 20% move in the last 50 days, 50% move in the last 50 days, right? So those are the high performer stocks. And then if you look at them every day, you know that, hey, before making this moves, what does this stock do? So these are some of the ways. Then you can make a watch list for yourself. From there you go manually and then you pick, like just like how I did here. So ये best stocks ultimate, ये list कहाँ से आया? This list is the top 100 performers in the last 50 days. So this is where the list comes from, right? So generally I try to do this at least once a week. Sometimes when I have time and I really want to, like, see all those names which it has done well, sometimes I scan more days, right? So this is that list. This list is created by this way, scanning for relative strength. Now the third one is, again, these two are very simple, these two are very similar. You can say that, okay, I will scan for bullishness, and the bullishness scan would be like, if you scan stocks which have made high, last 20-day high, 50-day high, or 52-week high, right? If you scan this actually will serve as a very good indicator of market strength, as well as it will give you names which are very strong, right? So for example, this is the scan. It scans for highs of 20-day, 50-day, 250-day, and today you see there are 32 stocks, right? And why I'm saying that this is a very nice indicator of bullishness, if you see, we possibly topped here like last December, but okay, names were like 300 names aa raha tha yahan pe. February 7 se we are making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, and we made like the lowest on March 14th, and after that the names have been steadily increasing, right? So if you just follow this and pick this up as your scanning system, this will do both of the job. It will also you don't have to go through all of this stuff. It'll tell you that, hey, what market conditions I am in right now, and also give you the names which are very strong. So in here you can see like names like very strong names, all the strong names you'll get here. Like you will, I mean, it's okay, like whatever system whatever system you क्या बोलते हैं उसको, you acquire or you use, all of them will sort of lead you to similar names. 80% of names will be overlapping. Top 50, 100 performers will also be the names which are making 50-day high, 52-week high, right? And then 20% of the names will be only here you will get, only here you will get. But that's fine, right? So, because ठीक है, आपको अगर like 50 names आ रहे हो, तो you will not be able to make positions in all 50, right? So this is the third way, right? So this is your entire system, how you should think about scanning. You don't have to do everything, okay? You just have to pick something and stick with it, right? All right. So we have covered breadth, we have covered tijori, we have covered scanning systems. We have to cover watch list, and we have to cover HDFC entry points. Okay, so let me now go and discuss with you the hottest bank, which is HDFC. Okay, so this is pretty clear. If you see, HDFC Bank has been in a downtrend. Okay, so first of all, though, daily mein relative strength is under 0, which means that is very poor. In the recent last 50 day mein iska relative strength is like बहुत ही बेकार, but nonetheless it's trying to come up now. And if you see from the moving average wise, it's below all key moving like higher time frame moving averages. 200 के भी नीचे है, 50 के भी नीचे है, and 20 and 10 are like now sideways and trying to move up, right? So I will close the moving average one. Now if you see, like I said, the anchored VWAP, what it does, it tells you the bears are strong or the bulls are strong. If price is above anchored VWAP, from a previous high, then you know that from that point of time the bulls are strong or bears are strong. So clearly from this last June point के बाद भी अभी price तो बहुत नीचे में है. And then if you anchor in the recent high, then you will also see that price is like really still very low than the average price this one. But the good news is it's now coming very close. Okay, so on a structural level, what it is doing is it is trying to put a reversal structure. Now one can choose to see the reversal structure as an inverse head and shoulder. Let's say if I ignore this very long shaft, मैं बताएगा कि ये मेरा लेफ्ट शोल्डर है, ये मेरा हेड है, ये मेरा राइट शोल्डर है. राइट शोल्डर के बाद आई एम मेकिंग एन एक्सटेंडेड राइट शोल्डर एंड इवेंचुअली वी गोना ब्रेक आउट. Fine, if you don't wanna see this as an inverse head and shoulder, then you can see this as a ascending triangle, right? So ascending triangle में आपको volatility contraction मिलेगा, and generally volatility contraction माने उसका जो lows है, the lows are now shifting higher and higher, and at some point of time whatever supply is coming in this zone is going to be fully absorbed, and then we gonna break out. So from a technical standpoint, generally, again, remember, we don't anticipate. I mean, of course we anticipate, but we confirm for the price to give us a clear signal, and that clear signal will come above this level. This level again also coincides with the anchored VWAP level, which is acting as a resistance, and so above this is the technical entry. Now if you go on a क्या बोलते हैं, right, yeah, so see, the way yeah. Huh. Yeah, so I'm just discussing for people who want to get back now. So this would be for mostly for swing, but again, if something is for swing, that can also be held positionally depending on the price action. So for example, let's say let's discuss, let's say we have a breakout and then we buy here, and then for a positional people, as long as this guy is making higher highs and higher lows, one can ride the uptrend. Okay, now we can talk about what this let's on a 1 month time frame also. If you see, is that what's happening here is there was huge distribution here. Okay, but price has also not fallen from this level. So this is again giving a vibe of what is that word, of an exhaustion candle. So high volumes and price not going beyond a certain point means that there are strong buyers supporting that price. Okay, and this candle, so last whole month and this month, and basically it's more evident from here. So right now it's not a buy, right now it's not a buy because this looks like a bear flag. So bear flag money, there is a prior downtrend, and then we go sideways, and then there is a very high chance that this guy is going to fall down, and if that falls down, our buy is not triggered only, right? But in case if this breaks out, this is the level where you wanna get in. Okay, so once you get in, and then depending upon the price action and stuff, then you can think कि अच्छा मेरे को ये hold करना है long term के लिए. How much ever one plans for keeping a position for a long term or a positional view, if you are making that decision based on price, the price will tell. वो आप कितना भी आगे अच्छा मेरे को ये पोजिशनली लेना है बोल के आप नहीं ले सकते हो, बिकॉज अगर पोजिशनली ले लिया एंड वो वापस आ गया फिर आपको तो बेचना पड़ेगा ना, इफ़ यू आर लाइक गोइंग फॉर टेक्निकल. सो द क्वेश्चन ऑफ ये स्विंग के लिए है, पोजिशनल के लिए है या लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए है, वो बाद में करके व्हाट आई वांटेड टू डिस्कस ओनली प्योरली इज दैट what is the levels which we are talking about, right? And the level we are talking about is this. And what I was trying to show you is on a if you want to like even refine your entry and make a क्या बोलते हैं उसको, make a anticipation entry, then you will have a clear वो. So lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay. Now the moment this lower high, whatever the recent lower high is getting taken out on the upside, that can be used as a little prior entry, but that prior entry is again a breakout entry on a lower time frame, right? So that is what I wanted to discuss regarding this stock. And if it bounces and reverses, then it reverses, then I don't have any problem with that. But generally for swing and all, for me, I don't try to get in. But again, I also get infatuated with the idea of like this holding these names, right? So that's that. Last, what I wanted to discuss with you, again, we'll come back to this if anyone has any questions, right? So the last point I wanted to discuss a peak watch list. Now peak watch list for me is this, again, this is the same, this one. And from here, I want to discuss a couple of names which sort of triggered an entry today, and some of the names which are going to trigger, and when that triggers, I'm going to enter, right? So before that, let me quickly already talk about the two names from this list which I'm holding. One is Solzer Electronics, and again I go to 30-minute time frame, and I put this क्या बोलते इसको, a VWAP on top of the swing, and you see, although I had an early entry here, somewhere possibly here, I don't know, maybe 14th or 15th I had an early entry. And then you see you anchor two VWAPs, one at the absolute top and one at the swing low. Swing lows should act as support, and swing high break should act as a entry trigger. Structure wise, this day was a clean entry, 28. And that it closed at UC, and today also there is an entry here. Okay, so what happened was today again it gapped up really nicely, then again came back to retest the gap upper boundary. Now if you are trading gaps, there are three places to enter. Gap entry one would be the moment as soon as it gapped up, and I have now Telegram channel for the gaps also. It's called Homma TGP. TGP stands for Tradable Gap Pivot. Any stock which gaps up and is buyable will come here at 9:15, 9:16. If it comes anywhere after 9:20, please don't consider. Anything which high volume and high gap up will come here by 9:20. Okay. So if anyone wants to make use of this is the group, and let me tell you the names which will show earning gaps, PEG, post earning gaps, or क्या बोलते उसको, the Pradeep Bonde famous word, I forgot, but whatever, that will come in this. Okay, so this is for future whenever the earning seasons come, and then we can heavily use this to get some really nice entries. Now I'll take the questions. Let me quickly complete this. We don't have much time. So basically, whenever it opens, that's entry one. The second entry is whenever it retests the gap boundary. And the third entry is when the gap day ka high is taken out. So that would be above this point. Okay. So again, not sure if I'm gonna top up right now, but topping up existing position is my high priority because I really don't want to be managing like more than 10 names because if it is not like a very nice bullish condition, it becomes a toll mentally as well. Same Inox India, I really like because it's a very young stock. It's a IPO name, and if if it does what some of the IPO names have done, then I am in here for like a long, like a positional view. Okay, and similar view I had with IRM Energy. That didn't materialize, but hopefully with Inox something like that will materialize. So this I have a starter position here already, which possibly triggered on 15th. Same story here also. You go to the 30-minute time frame or 30 minute नहीं चलने से भी some lower time frame which you like. You anchor your AVWAP here. You anchor your AVWAP somewhere on the low, and that low wala anchor VWAP should support your price going forward. And this is the place structurally breakout तो around 1200 के ऊपर. If you really want to get in early, this can also be used as a breakout pivot. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but uh, I am more inclined to top this up than Solzer purely because this is an entry, like peak entry. Although that guy is more stronger, right? So these are the two names already in the watch list, which I am holding, and some of the other names which I am keen because it gives you a very nice entry is Ganesh Housing. So Ganesh Housing, this above this is very tight pivot, right? So you can see that this is bottom one, bottom two, or you can say that like it's forming an ascending sort of a base, and above this would be a very nice entry. Similar structure where actually entry triggered today, and I should have been scanning before market close, and I saw this at 332 or something like that when markets were. So you can imagine very similar structure, but the entry has triggered here. Orchid Pharma has now peaked above this base tide base area, right? So today would have been a great entry here, and nonetheless the entries are still open here, right? थोड़ा सा extended चलेगा मतलब, but Ganesh Housing is something which I might use a GTT. देखते हैं, like I haven't said anything yet. Another peak name I really like is Datta Patans, right? So why I like this is um, so huge strength in this up move, huge strength. मतलब ये ऐसे volumes plus ऐसे 5-8% is no joke. And then ठीक है, it sort of corrected a little bit more from the top. 30% is a little too high, but I like the volume pattern. I like what it's doing now. It's already made a higher low. An anticipation entry could have been made today, but like ठीक है, नहीं करते हैं वो सब, खतरों के खिलाड़ी नहीं बनते हैं. Wait for a confirmation. And this is another name. Like I said, Hitachi Energy, I always knew this guy is very strong. It had two Khelao base, and Khelao base will not appear on a weak stock. Let me tell you that, right? But somehow I have this bias of like I have this bias, and I really want to work on it. This was even in the morning when I was scanning for high names. I saw this. I tweeted about this, like in my mind I was like fuck, like so strong stock, but like somehow like I never intended to buy this. I don't know why. So I have to do some thinking on this. NCC looking good. There is, I mean, this could have been an anticipation entry today, but there is an entry is still open here. Sangvi Movers was an entry today. I missed it. I was looking at something else, but yesterday when I was going through the list, I had in mind that if I get an entry here, I would take it. but yeah, so ये इसको थोड़ा नीचे करते हैं, इस पे now there is no entry. Another name I really liked, and which I had this entry. I had when this guy crossed above this, alarm went off. Somehow I didn't pull the trigger. Not sure why. Again, those things I don't know exactly. I have to think more. What is it that I was worried about? Yeah, but this is another good name. Not sure what this guy does. Some data center stuff also, I guess. Azad got triggered today, but there's the difficulty with the 5% names, that you have to enter inside the base, or else you will not get a entry. Now, for me to get inside the base, I have to be very sure about the company, and which I'm not in almost all cases, because I don't know what the company does and stuff like that. NetWeb Tech was an entry today, just like Azad, and like the Orchid Pharma also. This was an entry today, and you can see the blueprint of all good entries. There is a tight area where you can manage risk, and relative strength is also now pointing up, breaking out from some pivot, breaking out or crossing the 9-day EMA, or it's blue meaning absolute outperformance. So these are the blueprint of a strong stock, or scanning for strong names, right? Trill is another good name, and possibly it's not going to give you any entry, because circuit shuru ho gaya idhar. Again, like you see, this is the blueprint, like high relative strength coming back, cyclical relative strength thoda like garmi thoda thanda hua, and then again start, like it's starting to get garam. So yeah, go through these names, and I like almost all of them. One cannot get inside all of them. See, again, Cummins India, I knew this is a very strong stock. Like, we also had this BBB, this, and yesterday itself it was like a cross here. Yesterday already the 9 EMA cross happened, BBB appeared. But yeah, Hoodco is another name. This is also very strong. So yeah, go through this list. I will not I will not bore you with all the list, but I'll tell you the high outperformers will again come from this list. Okay. So now I'm going to take some questions. I'm sorry if I kept you waiting. Can everyone please mute? Yes. Link not received. Anil, which link, man? Yes, Prashant, episodic pivot was what I was looking for. I've had too much coffee today, so yeah. Anil says why. Tomorrow it might go down due to IT index. TGP. TGP. Yeah, TGP is you will find it in the Google sheet. Okay, Google sheet में जहाँ पे खेला होबे का वो है, लिंक है, उधर पे ही है. If not, I will send in the group today again. All right, Varun, you had a question, and okay. I know she is not Ariana. Hi, Vanita. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the blue is okay. So I'll quickly show you. If you go here, if it is not blue, then you should change it to like whatever color. So see, this is Khela color 0 is the Khela color, right? Comes. Color 1 is the blue for me, but you can change it to any other color. So color 1 stands for this. This guy is क्या नाम था? Pocket pivot. Okay, so this guy is called pocket pivot. Pocket pivot is basically if there is a day which is more than 3%, which is a bullish day, and the volume is higher than the any red day in the last 10 days. Okay, so if that condition, those two conditions are satisfied, then the candle becomes blue, which is also like a very bullish candle. Mostly on bullish entries this turns blue. So you can please check that, and if you don't find it, we can talk about it later. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. So what you might have been doing is that you okay. So where to change it is you go to Mars and say उस simple color को हटा देना है. So if you go to inputs, there is something called easy colors. If you are putting on easy colors, then this blue shlu will go away. So you unclick the easy color, then like more colors will come in. Yes, sure. BDL. BDL. All right. So BDL, this is a megaphone structure. Megaphone structure resistance also is sloping up, and this guy support is also sloping up. One, you can say that okay, probably this is in support. Again, sometimes the support and these are not absolutely straight line, they are zones, right? So one can consider this BDL is at a strong support now. There are a couple of reasons for that. One is like okay, price is on this line, the anchored VWAP from the previous low, okay, like I just showed you in couple of the stocks, the anchored VWAP from lows will act as support, and you see what it is doing. It is acting at support right now here, right? So anchored VWAP from previous tops will act as resistance. So this guy might act as resistance, but looks good if you want to re-enter again. But that would technically that entry would be above this 17 18ish level, and when that happens I will probably also put in the group. You find it here, so you go to this thing below this and you go okay, maybe not here, just a minute, where is it? Yes, here, right? So yeah, I've just clicked it here so it comes in my thingy. Yes, awesome. Rahul, you have a question? Hi, good evening, man. H HAL 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 also looked good. So defense stocks are good coming good in charting as well as this new thingy. So if you see here, why does this guy don't not have defense? Yes, so yeah, so defense is also like pretty high in the ranking in monthly time frame. So let's now look at HL. So again, HL was a very strong stock. Um, um, looks like it is forming. It is formed. It has found some support, and see the relative strength is also really good. See, all that matters is relative strength. ये कितना फॉल किया वो मैटर नहीं कर रहा है, बट फॉल करने के बाद ये कितना स्ट्रेंथ दिखा रहा है, दैट मैटर्स, राइट? सो huge volumes but not falling. Huge volume not falling means what? Means that someone is like absorbing all those volumes and not letting that fall. And if this guy then turns up from that level, that means that, you know, so for any sort of a decision, then I would go to a 30-minute time frame to see 30-minute time frame में ये बंदा क्या कर रहा है. So it's still on a downtrend. It's still on a downtrend. So you see, I mean, this sometimes works like clockwork. So यहाँ पे आया resistance. I would wait for this guy to, you know, cross, and that would be my entry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 3188 ish. Yeah, or if you already see this level, whenever this a VWAP from the top is bullish, and then let's say just मैं दिखा ही रहा हूँ, let's say ये बढ़िया वाला bullish candle से आया, and then it's very nicely now making a flag kind of a structure. Those things would really excite me for any entry here. Hmm. Yeah, it's already gone. Huh. Right. Yeah, so you see, these are, of course, not random points. So the best places to put VWAPs would be on, yeah, so not randomly, but let's say on pivot highs and pivot lows. So yeah, so this day would like sort of acting as support, but again you can say that this is not clean because it also chopped up a little bit here, right? So that means that the significance is not so much. Uh, like like BDL में ये वाला it was clearly acting as support, and if you don't want to put it on pivot highs and pivot lows, what you can put it is on days when there was clear breakout. So for example, HAL clearly broke out on this day, right? On this day with high volume. So then this could be a pivot for you to anchor your AVWAP, and that also then, although it's not very clear, but it still shows that this was the level people were buying, and the average price was that. So all in all, looks good, and also yeah, not bad, man. It's really good. You're welcome. Hi, Kalyan. Hey, good evening, Kalyan. Nice to talk to you, Kalyanji. Right. Yes, the best case scenario is pattern forming on a 0 degree line. Okay, that's the best case. If you get something like this, that is like really wow, right? Because then you don't have to second guess ki are ye this is sloping down. Is it like less bullish? This is sloping up. Is this a bearish structure? Looks like a VCP. So if it is like a clean horizontal line, there is no room to second guess yourself, right? So for example, a very nice example which we have right now is Sapphire. So there is no room to guess here. Like this is clean. Like I mean, this is clean zone of resistance which is near about horizontal, and and the moment we are like right now, the bullish volumes are increasing, clearly increasing. And if we have a close above this level, above this structural level, clean close on weekly, then we know that Sapphire has decided, has made a choice now, right? And and yeah, so this is the best. Yes, why not? Also, quickly, I wanted, so you can see a trend line breakout here. One, two, three. This is trend line breakout. JYOTI. What is this? Yeah, I agree with you. So let's say, um, so again, sometimes we are stuck with drawing perfect lines, but from what I read here, this is pretty clear. Uh, Uptrend, very very nice basing where there is this downtrend, this downward move had no volumes. Then we again shot up with high volumes, and then we've been basing now for some time, right? And this base has VCP like characteristics. um, the first T was like 20% deep, the second T was about 13% deep. This is also another contraction, similar contraction, so we will not call this another T. But then here there came a very tight range, and this tight range got broken today, albeit not very clearly, right? So if you've entered somewhere here, was this your entry today? Yeah, yeah. So this, in my opinion, is a good anticipation entry, right? Because what I'm seeing is that, see, price is contracting, and we are also sort of moving to levels higher, like the lows are shifting, inching higher and higher. The the relative strength is also now turning up, albeit it's not fully turned up. Sometimes they can break down as well, but this would be a level to watch for if this and on the other side, you can justify that, okay, maybe, well, maybe like we did not have a clean breakout yet, but i will not uh, I will not ridicule your entry, because this was a legit bullish candle, and there was also a very nice tight level where one could manage your risk, right? So if people anticipate, and then these are the points where they can anticipate it the best, right? But technically, possibly Mark Minervini would not enter here yet, right? It could, or yes, it could, or it might just shoot up on Monday. Like, again, these things are very difficult to predict, and we don't have to predict. Also, I mean, if it shorts, then it shorts. If it makes another T, then you get another chance to probably get in. So, but see, the volume's coming in like very nicely. All right. Thanks for the question. Oh, Praveen, do we have the dashboard for sector strength or rotation? Yes, we do. It you'll find it on the Google sheet. Okay. All right, guys. Um, Anyone has any more questions? Shilpa Medical. Yeah, yeah. Shilpa Medical. Shilpa Medical. Why is Shilpa not in our? It should be here, man. Anyways, SHIL Shilpa Med. Oh yeah, it's here. You see, best stocks ultimate list. So Shilpa Medicare is right now forming a cup, and possibly some part of the handle is already formed, and um, I believe Shubha, you are already in here, right? You're already holding this. Yeah. So if you want to top up, any close above this level can be. I mean, any close above this level can be used, or even when it is crossing, can be used to top up. Yeah. Oh yes, 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 it is. So reminds me of, which one? Reminds me of Newland Labs ka chart. Newland Labs यहाँ पे था sometime. So yeah, hopefully this does a Newland. Who knows? Again, I'm not putting ideas inside you guys, but yeah, like good stocks will have similar characteristics, and this also does have similar characteristics. But there is a bigger trend line which is yet to be broken. Okay, um, and yeah, if that breaks, and if you're already in here, like what a fantastic entry, right? You see, like I get what is the word? I get influenced a lot from other people. So now you've influenced me that like I want to now look at this stock, and possibly I already have this in my list also. Yeah, it's also here. So very nice stock. I like it. The volumes on monthly clearly signals that um, a lot of accumulation has institutional level accumulation has already happened here. Awesome. All right, folks. Prakash, can I have the link of the TGP charting scan? It's not there in the Google Sheet. Yes, Mangesh, I'll send it to you. All right, folks. Um, very nice chatting with you all, and uh, let's hope for a good day, good close tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.